Hey everyone, it is Monday, May 24th, 2021, and I am not at school right now, so please do not give a hard time to our awesome sub Miss Katie. All right, so today we are developing fantasy stories. All right, and once again, right, our standard is writing stories, all right, and other creative texts. So let's go to move on into our Ignite. So, what do you recall from last week? What did we start building? Hint, hint. It might have something to do with location. All right, go ahead and type in the discussion on Schoology. What do you recall? And what exactly did you start writing down? All right, you should have finished that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. So, today I want to teach you to create and develop a fantasy world. So last week we started creating a location, okay, or an object, something, all right. And with that, okay, we're going to be doing that same thing with our fantasy stories. So this week we're going to build on those locations. And so once again, this week we're going to start developing our own characters and plots. All right, so here is our worksheet that we'll be going through today. It is called a fantasy story planning. So let's go through this. Reading this first part here, you will begin writing your own fantasy story soon. However, we need to plan who will be in the story and what things will arise in the story. So using this planning sheet, this will help us as we start to develop our own stories. Answer each question. So in this first box, okay, you're going to describe some main characters. So who are they? What are their skills? What makes them special? And what is their archetype? So I gave you around four. Okay, make sure between one and two, you at least have a hero and you have a villain. Next, in this box, okay, you'll answer the conflict. So what will the main conflict of the story be? How do your heroes work through this conflict? All right. And then on the second part of these boxes, okay, what is the what are your heroes' motivation or goals? Okay. So what drives them to continue their journey? All right. And in this last box, okay, I want you to develop those fantastic locations, those fantasy locations that we started working on, right? That was practice, and now you're actually using the location. So give a brief history on the location if you can as well. So going into our chew, okay, here are my examples, all right? So once again, I'm describing a character, their archetype, what makes them special, okay? And so Goblin Gok, okay? Goblin Gook, okay? He's a hero. Okay, so who is he? He's gonna be a silly goblin, all right, and his skill is gonna be to shapeshift. Okay, and then what makes him special, right? So he's really well versed with daggers, so he knows how to use them. He knows how to fight with them, and that's what makes him special. So there, I described a little bit of who he is: a silly goblin, a skill, right? Is something where he shapeshifts. Okay, and then what makes him special is that he knows how to use daggers. All right. And then lastly, the archetype is that he is one of my heroes. Okay. In the next box, okay, what is the conflict? So, as I was thinking through a conflict, right? Once again, this is fantasy. The conflict of the story is about dragons. Dragons have taken over a portion of the world. Different races, all right, are in hiding and they have to come together to form an alliance to fight back the dragons. So the different heroes will have to the different heroes will have to go through their own journeys as they begin to trust one another to fight back the Dragon King. So this is going to be the main gist of my story, okay? The conflict that is going to arise, all right? And so once again, here I'm naming heroes, main characters. Maybe in this next one, I would have a villain, which would probably be the Dragon King, right? And then this one, I am naming the conflict. All right. So moving on. So once again, heroes' motivation, goals. What are they? What are they fighting for? Okay, they're fighting for survival. So, after 100 years of hiding in the dark from the dragons and serving them, all the different races of the world have decided to fight back. So the different heroes want to save their families and friends from the tributes of the dragons. Okay. So I'll definitely explain more about this, but this is the beginning of why my heroes are motivated for their journey. And then lastly, the location. Okay. So here I put the goblin tribe, right? It's like a village, okay? And so uh Gook, right, which is one of my goblins, okay? This is where Gook was born and raised. His father died in what will be known as the Dragon Wars. Okay. So maybe the Dragon Wars might be a different location. But as you'll see, I went through each box and answered each question to the best of my abilities. So this is a start to how you will begin to plot your own fantasy stories. And so then for your review, download the document into Notability and complete the assignment and turn it into Schoology. All right, that just about wraps it up for today. I hope everyone is doing well, and I will see you all on Tuesday. All right.